Football with First Division Special.
At Old Trafford, Manchester United are pursuing a dream. The League Championship trophy, conspicuous by its absence here since 1967. Alex Ferguson is the latest manager with that mission. Today he completes 2 years in charge as Manchester United meet Aston Villa in our Barclays First Division Special, with highlights from Liverpool against Middlesbrough, Coventry against West Ham later in the programme. Alex Ferguson's record makes interesting reading. Only 15 defeats from 78 First Division games, yet Manchester United have won less than half of those matches. The cost of the Championship challenge, around £5 million, with only Peter Davenport holding his value among the departures. Defender Mal Donaghy from Luton is the most recent newcomer to the famous red shirt. It's his Old Trafford debut, and it could be fiery against Villa's in-form Alan McInally. The latest of McInally's 9 goals this season against Millwall in the Littlewoods Cup, worthy of Maradona. Today, McInally hopes to be inspired again by his rivalry with an old Celtic teammate, Brian McClair. A rivalry about goal scoring.
Yeah, well, the version is 9-4, really. That's no, it's just, well, you know, I was very friendly with Brian in Celtic. With golf and snooker together, etc. And it was always like a little bit of rivalry in everything that we did. And certainly when Brian came down to Manchester United and doing so well last year, you know, and me doing not so well, obviously a chance for myself to better myself this year and see if I can keep up with him, really. And the fact that I've got ahead of him is, I've been shouting my mouth off a little bit too much, I think, really, you know. But it's a friendly rivalry, but a lot of pride at stake, I would say, really. That was all.
Alan said it's 9-4 in his favour. Actually, Brian, it's 9-5, but you're still 4 goals behind.
Yeah, well, Alan's an exceptionally good player. He's, I think they've played easier teams than us this season, to be honest, though. He's had a few more chances.
Do you feel a personal rivalry today? He's trying to wind you up as we speak.
Well, there's always been a personal rivalry. I think that, as you said, we've played at a few sports, and to be honest, he's probably been the best. He's got I think, an all-round ability at sport. He's good at golf and he's good at snooker.
You are facing, for the first time in a First Division game, the club that you left as an apprentice a few years ago. Is that special for you?
Yeah, I suppose it now reminded me of it. I think it would have made a difference a while ago, but I mean, it's been so long now. It was something that I had looked forward to when I was younger, but now it's just an important game for us.
But a goal wouldn't come amiss.
Well, any type of goal will be good, as long as we win.
Well, the legacy of United's Littlewoods Cup defeat at Wimbledon is that Viv Anderson wasn't considered for selection after his involvement in that post-match fracas. Gordon Strachan is back in midfield, where Liam O'Brien retains his place. Incidentally, one member of this side does already have a League Championship medal, Colin Gibson, who won his with Aston Villa in 1981. Villa are unchanged today. A system built around 3 centre-backs, Derek Mountfield, Alan Evans and Martin Keown, has been an important factor in a 5-game unbeaten run. And on a day when we've got so many connections between the two sides, I should remind you that number 8, David Platt, was released by Manchester United 3 years ago. The referee comes from Wales, Prestatyn in fact. You'd expect that with a name like Franken Roberts. Manchester United haven't had a home game on a Saturday for 6 weeks. The fans are hungry for the action. There's a special atmosphere at a special stadium. Aston Villa are without their manager, Graham Taylor. He's away attending his daughter's graduation today in Nottingham. So his capable assistant, John Ward, in charge of the team. Manchester United 10th in the First Division. Aston Villa are 1 place above them. Martin Keown jumping with Brian McClair. Here's David Platt. Robson charging the ball down, but unable to regain possession. Tony Daly making the early thrust through the centre. There's a lot of pace about the way Villa play at the front with Daly and McInally. They roam free, and it's been very effective. Sometimes in the past, Tony Daly has been tied to a winger's role, but he's much more suited, it seems, to just going where the mood takes him. Flicked on by Robson, collected well by Hughes. McInally has got back to try and hold up Gibson, but he's made a run beyond him. Robson. Now Bruce. Nothing to the right. Strachan had to come back to try and fill that space. He's done it quite effectively. Well played, Strachan. McClare. Clearance from Keown. Bruce and O'Brien trying to keep the pressure on. Donachie playing it wide, and Price a little overconfident. Chris Price's first appearance at Old Trafford, at the age of 28, his first season in the First Division. And Manchester United hoping to make the most of a corner rather presented to them. And Robson is disappointed. Even in defeat at Wimbledon, he showed again with the opening goal his eye for a chance. It was there again from a driven corner by Strachan that dipped invitingly to Robson, but he couldn't control the header. Blackmore. Good running again from Hughes. And in turn from Gibson. It's given Aston Villa a problem. Oh, and Spink was concerned by the dip on the cross, and Gibson damaged himself in delivering it. And that looks serious for Manchester United and Colin Gibson. Going to be a stretcher. Sometimes it is a precaution. Manchester United afflicted by injuries this season. Gibson himself only just back from a knee problem sustained pre-season. And it seemed to be just in delivering the cross the problem occurred. He was stretching to put everything into it, and it was a splendid ball in. Well, the former Aston Villa player, 9 years with Villa, a championship medal, a European Cup winners' medal as a substitute in 1982. He came here 3 years ago. Signed by Ron Atkinson, very popular with the crowd, and Mike Duxbury, who isn't fully fit, but has been playing with bumps and bruises, has been named as a substitute, and with only 20 minutes gone, he's back on the field, as Gibson makes a very painful exit. Nearly the perfect response from adversity from Olsen's corner. Hughes heading wide. Gibson wouldn't have seen that. Mike Duxbury has come on to play at right back, and Blackmore, the number 2, has switched to the left. He's always such a versatile man to have around, and never more so than now. Cowans trying to exert his influence in Villa's midfield. Went beyond McInally, missed Mountfield, but Gallagher stopped by the linesman flagging for the ball out of play. Finale. Well played to Cowans. Header away from Bruce. From outfield. Here's Gallagher. Black trying to cut off any back pass. Bruce solves his problems cleverly. Oh, and Donaghy's lost out. The chance for Platt to make a name against the club which rejected him 3 years ago. He had to take the shot quickly, and Leighton made the save look nonchalant, and then it's Platt charging back to Rob Strachan, who might feel that he ought to have had a shout from a teammate to warn him that David Platt was catching him up. So David Platt back in his home country, Manchester area. He was very much a central figure then at both ends of the pitch. United who are looking for pace and they're attacking at the moment. From Brian McClare, taking on Mountfield and passing him. Villa slow to pick up McClare from the throw. And that might be costly. O'Brien, it was deflected cruelly for Liam O'Brien because it was against the post and out. Closest Manchester United have come. With 8 minutes remaining of the first half. McClare got free from the throw. O'Brien took the shot early. It hit Alan Evans and then hit the post. Donaghy. Here's O'Brien. Spinks lost it, but in making the save, actually helped the ball behind for the corner. There was no follow-up for Robson, who was really bearing down on Nigel Spinks' goal. But another well-struck effort from Liam O'Brien. And Bruce! An emphatic header. No chance for Spink. Manchester United's pressure has paid off. They've ridden some disappointments in this first half, losing Colin Gibson injured. They've hit the post. Now they hit the back of the net with a vengeance. From Strachan's corner, which was perfectly delivered, matched by Bruce's header. 3 minutes before half-time. The scoreline has a ring of justice about it. And for Steve Bruce, it's number 3 of the season. Well, Aston Villa full of resolve away from home as their record this season and last has shown. And they take some breaking down. Just wondered as the first half developed with Manchester United finding the breaks going against them, whether Villa would be able to capitalise on that. If they're going to do it now, they've got to come from behind. McClare. O'Brien. Strachan for Hughes. And Price defended brilliantly. Mark Hughes takes some stopping in his current form. And Aston Villa were very grateful then for the positional sense of Chris Price. And Spinks saves again from Bruce. Making his presence felt in the Aston Villa penalty area. wants to meet another Strachan corner. In goes Bruce, and it's the other number 4 who meets it, Evans, but Franklin Roberts spotted a foul. Well, Steve Bruce, with 1 goal under his belt already this afternoon, and very close to another. Up he went, it was well directed, but Nigel Spink thrust up an arm and clawed it away. McInally so quick again, and so too is Daly. And what can Aston Villa do in building from this position? Leighton backpedaling in difficulties. Good work by O'Brien, but in any case, there was a spot of handball by Alan McInally. As Jim Leighton had struggled to deal with the cross, which was hit very deep, Tony Daly would have been disappointed to see McInally use an arm. As though the first half here was going to be a cameo of Manchester United's season so far. Until Steve Bruce struck, they've been afflicted by another injury to Colin Gibson. They'd hit the post when Liam O'Brien's shot was deflected by Alan Evans, but they bounced back through Steve Bruce to go off at half-time against Aston Villa, leading by 1-0. Aston Villa trailing again on a ground where they've won only once in the last 34 years. The only omen I can find for them is that solitary success was on a November the 5th, back in 1983, a 2-1 win. I shouldn't think he was here that day. That's free. Back from Mountfield, and met by Bruce. Goes Hughes, enough to distract Evans. McInally. O'Brien turned back into Kevin Gage. Platt, it'll reach Daly. McInally and Gallagher in the middle. McInally! And Gallagher still has a chance. And again. And I think you'd have put money on McInally's 10th of the season. He's missed so little, and Leighton in the end has to save from Gage. But the best moment in that concentrated spell of attacking by Aston Villa really was McInally's. The driven cross that came his way, and then Gallagher's way. O'Brien. Cowans trying to win the ball in the Manchester United half, but O'Brien kept his composure. Olsen to Robson. And Clare being out-sprinted by Keown. Donachie, well played again. He may be 31 now, Donachie, but playing at the back, he looks as though he could go on for another 10 years. Strachan. O'Brien, Strachan! Oh, and Spink just stood and watched it go past. A sharp edge to Strachan's play then. Into O'Brien, the return flick, the instant shot, and Villa very relieved to see it pass wide. Daly, Platt. Here comes Gallagher. The Villa fans finding their voices. Behind the goal, Villa are attacking now. The goal that Daly is attacking. Corner. Cowans to take it. McInally is right in there. Leighton uses the fists. Clears the area. Manchester United push out. And Villa might be caught and would have been if Gage hadn't got a foot in. Still they're short of cover at the back if Olsen can use it quickly. Strachan gets the wave on from the linesman. Spink is committed and tackles. He read that well, Nigel Spink. Villa's commitment to attack almost very costly. Olsen. Oh, the outfield's miscued. Strachan. Hughes has gone to the far post. Robson in the centre of the goal. Strachan looking for a silky touch rather than an early cross. And McInally. This is the sort of break that he's turning into his trademark. Platt is in the middle. McInally taking on Bruce, and Gordon Cowans has equalised. 15 minutes into the second half. Aston Villa's supporters delirious with delight. Cowans knows the part that McInally played. And when he's not scoring, he's providing. The man on the score sheet this time, Gordon Cowans, his first goal back since his 3 years in Italy. And what a stage to get it on at Old Trafford. Another match in which Manchester United have scored first and lost the lead. And McInally so full of confidence that he shoots from 40 yards. I would think he'd be desperately disappointed not to have scored. He must believe anything is possible. He's having a magnificent run. And his sheer power, like a 400 metres specialist really. He runs and runs. And there's Cowans, the man who benefited this time. Quite a match. And it was, in all the praise for McInally, an excellent finish by Cowans, taking it first time. It needed a practice touch. Hughes. Robson, Strachan, Duxbury outside him. Neat work by Platt. The early pass to Daly. A rampaging run for Platt, who's offside, and for a second it might have crossed his mind that he could grab a winner to show that Manchester United were wrong to let him go. He might still yet. Strachan to O'Brien. Strachan, Villa caught having to turn, thinking that the danger had passed. A momentary loss of concentration. It's led to a corner. time guarding the area towards the near post, in fact beyond the near post. It was out of play before deflection, and it's a goal kick. The crowd that's singing are the fans who made their way here from the West Midlands. It takes them out shouting at Old Trafford, but the home support is being drowned at the moment. Finished second to Liverpool, of course, at the end of last season. 9 points behind. Here's Strachan. Spinks lost it. Can Hughes turn it in? The answer is no. Strachan's impish skills. Difficult for Villa to defend against again. Asked a lot of O'Brien, but he came up with the answer from Cowans. Rice can clear his lines. And that was a shove by McInally, who was always going to come second. Taken quickly. Duxbury. Manchester United trying to mount a late onslaught to regain the lead. It was lost in the second half. O'Brien. Robson. Everything really in field of him. They were taking up a particularly wide position. Donaghy. McClare's onside, played on by Keown. And here's Clayton Blackmore. And a second time. Aston Villa determined to hang on to what they've got. Throwing the bodies in them. There's twice Clayton Blackmore, who really can shoot from that type of position. Twice he let fly. And the shake of the head sums it up. McClare. In from Bruce. Bruce again. And Gallagher can only knock it behind for the corner. As Aston Villa are discovering, when you play Manchester United away, you don't just play 11 players. It's the support, particularly from the Stretford end, that could be a factor too. A minute left. Bruce. And again. And Spink is in danger of being late on Bruce. It's all ended tamely for Aston Villa. They have nothing to be alarmed about. Goalkeepers can charge into opponents and give away penalties, just like outfield players. One last blow forward from Jim Leighton. Villa will be very happy with some reward for their second half effort. Could be the real reward yet. Price. Cowans. Now is the time to strike. Gallagher. And it was a worthy effort. When Graham Taylor watches the television transmission, he can be proud of the way his team have performed, but for Alex Ferguson, he completes 2 years in charge at Old Trafford with another of the results that has stopped spectacular progress here. Another draw. Steve Bruce scored in the first half, but Manchester United allowed Gordon Cowans to equalise on the hour. So Aston Villa have produced another spirited performance away from Villa Park, and it's finished here. Manchester United won, Aston Villa won.
Alec, it's a difficult question, but you've led in the last 5 league games and you haven't won any of them. Why not?
Well, I think that's we're possibly one. I think we're possibly through a spell in which we're not killing off teams, missing chances. And I think today was a sort of indication of the craziness that sometimes it can happen with some of them. Clear advantage, playing very, very well. An opportunity inside the box to cross the ball. Instead, we try something stupid. And up the other end it's a goal, the first chance of the match. So they're going through one of these spells in which they've been punished for any mistake they make. And really we should be concentrating, just keeping it simple once we are in front.
Everybody talks about Manchester United in the Championship, and it's 21 years now. We're into the 22nd season. Is that a millstone around your neck?
No, I think that's. I think it's a millstone in the sense that if everyone keeps demanding, it's obvious we want the Championship. The present players are certainly good enough.
You believe that?
Absolutely, yes, I do. Yeah.
So going into the 3rd year, no regrets and no doubts about your belief in your ability to do the job here?
This is the finest club in the world. There's no question about that. The platform's there, good support. But we just have to keep persevering.
Well, Alex Ferguson starts his 3rd year with a problem about Colin Gibson. He has damaged the same knee he hurt pre-season. The extent of that damage will be confirmed in the next 24 hours. Action now from 2 more First Division games. Coventry against West Ham in a moment, but Richard Keys begins his report at Anfield.
Borough at Anfield with new boy Peter Davenport on view, and they took the early initiative too. Gary Pallister getting a touch on at the near post. Ray Houghton back on the Liverpool line to clear the danger. Ian Rush is beginning to show signs of his former self. Put through here by John Aldridge. Rush eventually forcing his way past keeper Pears, and it was skipper Tony Mowbray back to clear Middlesbrough lines at the other end. Well, Borough certainly giving as good as they were taking in the early stages. Again, Liverpool with problems across their back line, not successfully getting the ball clear. It falls for Gary Cooper, takes a deflection off the back of Bernie Slavin's heel, and Mike Hooper just getting his fingertips to that ball to touch it over the crossbar and away to safety. Peter Beardsley thought he'd engineered an opening for Liverpool as half-time approached. The cross was deep, keeper lost it, Rush forced it home, but the goal disallowed for the challenge by John Aldridge on Stephen Pears. But Liverpool and the Kop didn't have to wait too much longer for the first goal. Again Pears struggling. This time Middlesbrough can't clear their lines. Rush sees the first effort come back off the keeper, but scores with the second. Ian Rush with a goal at last in front of the Kop. Aldridge injured in the process. But as the celebrations started, there was time enough in the dressing rooms during the interval for Aldridge to take some sort of treatment. Ian Rush, 1-0 Liverpool. Which was the signal for them to turn the tap on. Beardsley finding Barnes on the edge of the box, a little shimmy one way and then the other, and Pears getting down to his right to turn the ball away for a corner. Liverpool by no means finished just yet. Peter Beardsley with a devastating run for the byline. Barnes has made progress. Pears again gets his body in the way. And Ian Rush, who opened the scoring in the first half, very nearly turning in his and Liverpool's second. Visiting goalkeepers used to a busy afternoon at Anfield. Beardsley again on the edge of the box. Barnes with the cross. Rush once more tied up. And Aldridge eventually on the turn, but only just forcing Liverpool's second. So the Kop in full cry, and the best yet to come from the provider of so much on the afternoon, Peter Beardsley. Again a little dummy on the edge of the box, and what a terrific finish with his left foot. Liverpool 3, Middlesbrough 0. Coventry have found games easier to win away from home this season. They were quickly on the attack against West Ham United. Brian Burrows feeding Regis on the edge of the box, and David Speedy, who's been at the heart of so much of Coventry's success this season, with a shot that travels just wide. West Ham with an interesting free kick. Tony Gale with the strike, and Guzovic happy to see it over the top of the crossbar. But the Hammers, who have struggled for the most part, prepared to take the game to Coventry. Mark Ward out on the right-hand side. Ball eventually worked into the box. Dickens hits the post, but David Kelly, £650,000 worth of him from Walsall in the summer, quickly tucks the rebound away. And the journey from London all of a sudden very worthwhile. Second half now, and Coventry very much on the offensive. Cyril Regis with an opportunity. In fact, scores, but the whistle had gone a long time before that. Ian Emerson's shot from 25 yards deflected and Regis offside. Emerson again probing, this time working an opportunity for himself, and Alan McKnight with the fingertips turning the ball away. Burrows this time out on the right-hand side. Again looking for the big man, but it was Speedy that got up. And again West Ham very grateful to McKnight in their goal. But Coventry weren't to be denied. Keith Thompson, the substitute, on, and it was he who forced the equaliser, and very good value Coventry were for it too. Coventry City 1, West Ham United 1.
Well, that point puts West Ham third from bottom. Newcastle were beaten at Queen's Park Rangers, and more gloom for Tottenham, going down 3-1 at home to Derby County. 2 goals for Ted McMinn and another for that £1 million man, Dean Saunders. Norwich City still clear at the top. They won 2-0 at Wimbledon. Millwall 3-1 winners over Luton. Teddy Sheringham amongst the scorers yet again. Liverpool move up to third, and Southampton are fourth after a 2-0 success against Charlton. Arsenal in fifth place, and they play at Nottingham Forest on Sunday. That's the match on ITV at 3 o'clock. The co-commentator with Brian Moore is the Aston Villa manager Graham Taylor, who wasn't at Old Trafford, but I'm sure will have enjoyed watching over the last 45 minutes. For Alec Ferguson, though, it was an aggravating anniversary. Another lead lost. We'll be back next week, but we leave you with the Manchester United malaise.